Lonely Monk Productions. Welcome to Too Old, Too New, the music discovery podcast that brings you something old, something new, something Nate, something Bruce. I'm Nate Runkle, host of the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast, and with me, as always, is my good friend Bruce Warren of WXPN. The premise of this show is simple. Every week, we bring you 2 songs apiece. One new song that has been metaphorically spinning our turntable platters, and one old song that we believe still absolutely matters. What is going on, my friend? I feel like I just saw you.
Yeah, you did just see me, my friend. We're, this week at WXPN here in Philadelphia, which is a public radio station. We host an annual conference, and we have several hundred people from radio stations, mostly public radio stations that sort of play contemporary music. And then we have a lot of, industry people, record company people, and we hang out for a few days. We see a lot of great music, and we have some sessions during the day. And that's what's going on. So we're right in the middle of the week. So we're excited, though, that both you and I could actually take a little break to bring you this week's 4 amazing songs. So that's what's going on over here.
All right. Speaking of 4 amazing songs, let me get started. I'm going to start with my new song this week, and it's the latest single by the Illuminati Hotties called Can't Be Still. I am an enormous Illuminati Hotties fan, and as a little inside Easter egg here for you, the Yo, That's My Jawn theme song actually has elements from a sample pack that Sarah released. So there's a part in the theme song that goes like JJAAWN, and that's Sarah's voice. So I'm a little biased in my love of Illuminati Hotties, but this song is absolutely a ripper, definitely not a skipper. And so let's hear a little Can't Be Still. So that's Can't Be Still by the Illuminati Hotties. I love a song with a good whistle in it, first of all. Can't be beat.
It's great. It's a great song. And I wish nothing but the ultimate, most amazing best for Illuminati Hotties. They are an incredible band, and I'll just leave it at that. So if you're not familiar, definitely check them out. Also, they have a huge tour coming.
Yes.
In, I think, the fall, right? Or something like that.
They're coming to Philly October 17th at the First Unitarian Church, which I cannot wait for. I've got tickets for that already. And some people might be familiar with Sarah's work because she's done work with Boy Genius, done work with Speedy Ortiz behind the boards as well. Not just an incredible musician, but also an incredible producer, engineer, and all-around talent.
Yeah, really very excited. And I have to say, for those of you who are going out to see Illuminati Hotties when they tour, make sure you get there. They say, they always say, never miss the opening band, right? And I subscribe to that pretty regularly. The opening band, one of the opening bands on this tour is a new band from Philadelphia called DAFO, DAFFO. So, I'm always representing for the Philly songs sound, and DAFO is definitely a band to keep an eye out for and an ear out for as well. So make sure you check it out. And speaking of Philadelphia, right? Speaking of Philly, Nate, I said to you earlier, it's like, don't worry, I'm not always going to pick Philly bands. But for my new song today, I decided to pick a Philly band. And the band I'm talking about is Mondo Cosmo. I guess, Josh, who is the lead singer, who's basically Mondo Cosmo, got his start in here in Philadelphia, has been living in Los Angeles for a number of years now, but we still consider Josh a Philadelphia artist. In the early aughts, some of you may recall the band called Eastern Conference Champions. That was Josh's band, but he's been doing the Mondo Cosmo thing for a while. Rock and roll, folks, a lot of guitar, and loving this new song. It's called Angels. Let's check it out right now.
These statues of you, they're covered in sound. Oh, send
Wow, that's a pretty that's a raging song, raging new song from raging new song by Mondo Cosmo. It's called Angels.
It's absolutely incredible. I saw a quote from him saying that, you obviously know this, but they have been covering Bittersweet Symphony in concert for quite some time. And he said he wanted something kind of to match that, something anthematic to kind of match like the U2 at Red Rock sound. And this is just by happenstance, I swear. I don't know if you can see it, but I am literally at this moment wearing my Mondo Cosmo socks.
That's very nice.
So I've been trying to get Josh on the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast for 4 years, and he's been ducking me. So I'm hoping with this new album, he finally breaks.
Well, you know what? I'm going to call him right after we're done. Josh owes me. What can I tell you? We'll get him on the podcast, Nate. I promise. All right, that's a promise.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So you saw Kamasi Washington this weekend. How did that go, man?
It was really great. It was Kamasi Washington, an incredible jazz saxophonist. He has a new album out. I'll be honest with you. I'm a fan. I'm not over the moon on this new album. He played it in its entirety the other night. But, sometimes when you see a band play some new live music, some new music live, it takes on new dimensions. And I came back to that, to the album after the show, and I was completely moved because I still had this memory of seeing them play this show live. The band is so insanely great. So Kamasi Washington, as much as I love Kamasi and his sax playing, the players are so excellent at what they do. The drummer, I don't know the drummer's name, but it's sort of mind-blowing to watch this guy play. And it's the glue that holds it all together. So that was my Kamasi experience, and it was beautiful. I will never miss Kamasi Washington when they play Philadelphia. He's that good. He's that good. So thanks for asking.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's so many good shows coming to town and all. And I literally just bought tickets this week for my wife and I. It was our 1-year anniversary this past weekend. And for an anniversary gift, I bought her tickets to see Brandi Carlile at Red Rocks, backed by the Colorado Symphony Orchestra.
Whoa.
And oh my God, I cannot wait for that.
That's heavy, man. That is very heavy. It's a trip. And the show is going to be heavy. So you got a couple things going on there that are pretty freaking cool.
Otherworldly. How about an old song? You got an old song for us?
Yeah, I do have an old song. And this is sort of breaking news. Maybe by the time you listen to this, you'll have found out that the legendary, the iconic producer, performer Steve Albini passed away today. We heard the news that he passed away of a heart attack, 61 years old. For those of you who are not familiar with Steve's work, he was a frontman for the bands Shellac and Big Black. Big Black have one of my favorite songs. We're going to get to it in a second. But he's also produced so many amazing records. You may not know his name, but you probably know the records he produced, right? I'm talking about Nirvana's In Utero. I'm talking about Pixie Surfer Rosa. I'm talking about Rid of Me by P.J. Harvey. And so many amazing more records, and his contributions to popular music are insanely great, and it's real sad that he passed away at such a young age. I'm going to play you this song, Big Black. I had no idea. This was one of those records that I bought in the record store when it came out many, many years ago, and it was playing over the record store sound system, and I was like, what the fuck is this sound? I was just like, what the heck is going on here? And I got hip to Big Black, and then I got hip to Steve. So let's listen to this one. It is called Kerosene.
Kerosene around. Something to do. Kerosene around. Find 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 something to do. Kerosene around. Set me on fire!
That's Kerosene, Big Black, fronted by Steve Albini, who very sadly passed away today, from an album from, I think, mid-'80s, 86 or something, I think it's called. I think it was. Atomizer is the record, and it is sort of like, even listening to it now with, like, dude, listen, with all like any genre, like punk rock, noise, post-hardcore, industrial, whatever label you want to apply to this, it's still to this day still sounds like nothing else that has ever been released, which I think is the hallmark of the most incredible timeless music. So there you go, little Steve Albini for you with Kerosene from Big Black. And how about you?
Oh,
what do you got?
Well, real quick, I just want to hip the listeners to this. I'm sure you guys are going to re-air it, but World Cafe had an incredible interview with Steve Albini, and I implore the listeners to seek that out.
Yeah, we went and we visited him in his studio in January of 23, and Steve. Has had mixed reputation over the years, within the industry. But he was the sweetest guy when we met him and was very forthcoming. And I will not hold it against him that he's not a big Steely Dan fan. That being said, if you can, check it out, the Steve Albini World Cafe interview from last year.
All right. So my old one, this is another one of those surprise YouTube finds for me. I had never heard of the band, and the full album, I forget which album it was, maybe like I Know Your Man, I think it's called, or something like that, came up, and I'm a big Monkees fan, and the band that I'm about to play is the Funkies, and they spell it the same way. So I at first thought it was like funk covers of the Monkees, which someone should do, first of all, and I would buy that album. But so I hit play, and I was absolutely blown away, not just how incredible this music is, but that I hadn't heard anything more about them. So let me play a little piece of a Braca here by the Funkies, and then we'll come back and kind of talk more about them. So that's a Braca by the Funkies, a Nigerian band. They actually were a Nigerian army band during the Nigerian Civil War, and their kind of danceable nature was kind of something that kind of brought the youth out of kind of that dark time. They moved to London, and then the band only lasted 4 years. I think they put 2 albums out, which you can find on a compilation on Spotify and whatnot. But just total vibe, like kind of feels, very Santana, very, very worldly. But that Afro rock sound, like the beats and the rhythms behind it, can absolutely grab your spine and just control you and make you dance. And this is no slouch here.
It's totally funky, hence the name, the Funkies. They live up to their name, which is really good. The compilation record is how I discovered them. It's out on some British label. It's called Soundway Records. And I just bought it because the cover looked cool. I bought it online. But for those of you who are into, African, Caribbean, Latin music, Asian music, this label, Soundway Records, which is a British-based label, puts out some of the great anthologies of totally obscure bands. And if you're into that kind of thing, I would definitely say check them out, and definitely pick up on this Monkees compilation. Monkees, there you go, right? On the Funkies compilation, because it's tasty. It is really tasty.
It's great. Look at this, another 4-banger. Quick one out, man. We did it.
Boom, in and out.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, you can find these songs. We'll have a list to a playlist. I am going to make one slight change in the playlist. Right now, we have an April playlist and a May playlist, and I got an email from somebody about the May playlist, and they were like, "Please don't make multiple playlists because I'm going to lose them." So we're going to keep it to one playlist on Spotify.
Good idea.
I'll have a link to that. I'll update it with the May stuff. I'll put a new cover on it, a new name, and spit shine it for you. You, of course, can find that in the notes. And you can follow us on the socials. Follow me at Yo That's My Jawn and Bruce at Some Velvet Blog. You can also hear Bruce every Saturday from 10 to 2 on WXPN, and you can hear me every Monday from 5 to 8 on Why Not Radio, and also on the Yo That's My Jawn podcast. Bruce, as always, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Too Old, Too New with Nate and Bruce is a Lonely Monk production, produced and hosted by Nate Runkle and Bruce Warren. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on your podcast provider of choice. If you have any music you think we should hear, or if you would just like to reach out to us, please feel free to email us at tooldtoonewmusicpod@gmail.com. And as always, thanks, and we will catch you next time.